The ocean has always been a stage for unfathomable secrets. Its waves conceal stories that have crossed centuries, feeding humanity's legends, fears, and hopes. In its dark depths, where even light dares not enter, mysterious creatures lurk, waiting for the curious gaze of men. I am Uncle Danny, your guide on this journey into the unknown. If you feel there is more between heaven and earth than what we've been told, subscribe now, activate the bell, and get ready to dive into chilling tales, dark investigations, and secrets that echo across the centuries. And before we begin, leave a comment below with the city you're watching from. I want to know how far this mystery has traveled. Step into the unknown. Discover the impossible. Live the mystery. Today, you will meet sea monsters that defy imagination, beings that blur the line between myth and reality. Get ready for a journey where fear collides with fascination. Ancient sailors trembled when they heard the name Kraken. It wasn't just an animal, but a force of nature itself. They said its tentacles rose like towers, capable of ripping entire ships apart. Its eyes were described as windows into the abyss, reflecting the terror of anyone who dared to face it. The Kraken didn't simply attack, it dominated. In Norse sagas, the Kraken appeared as a warning of imminent destruction. The sea would foam before its arrival, a sign that there was no escape. Cartographers drew it on maps, marking forbidden regions of navigation. For them, it wasn't legend but reality. Every voyage carried the possibility of encountering it. For centuries, only indirect evidence existed: carcasses of giant squids, scars on whales, desperate testimonies. Science mocked these stories, calling them exaggerations. Until, in the 2000s, real footage of giant squids confirmed part of the myth. The impossible had become tangible. Today, the Kraken lives on in movies, video games, and even on beverage labels. It left the ocean to inhabit popular culture, becoming an eternal symbol of fear of the unknown. No matter how many scientific explanations arise, its name still sends shivers down the spine. After all, imagination is a territory where monsters never die. But the question remains: if giant squids exist, why not believe in something even greater? The ocean covers 80% of the Earth, yet we've explored less than the moon. Perhaps the Kraken simply hides in untouched regions, waiting for the right moment. For sailors, it was never just a myth. It was a constant, living presence that marked the limits of human courage. It isn't about proving its existence, it's about recognizing how the sea reminds us of our smallness. The Kraken remains a shadow over the waters, no matter how much we try to rationalize it. It is the reminder that the greatest monsters don't need to be seen to keep haunting generations. In Norse mythology, there is a serpent so vast it encircles the entire world, Jormungandr. Known as the sea serpent of Ragnarok, its mere existence meant the end. They said it rested in the depths, biting its own tail. Its awakening would signal the apocalypse. The child of Loki and sibling of Fenrir, Jormungandr wasn't just a monster, it was part of prophecy. Thor was the only one destined to face it. The final battle would end with both dead, the serpent's venom killing even the god of thunder. The legend became a symbol of inevitable fate. But giant sea serpents weren't exclusive to myth. Norwegian fishermen swore they had seen elongated creatures sliding beneath the waves. Some 19th century accounts describe sea snakes larger than entire villages. The boundary between myth and testimony dissolved into fear. In modern culture, Jormungandr found new life. From video games like God of War to books and comics, it appears as an unstoppable force. It isn't just a monster, but a reminder that the world can collapse from within. The serpent is a metaphor for chaos that grows silently until it suffocates us. Science rejects any literal existence of such a creature. No recorded animal comes close to the described size. Yet symbolically, Jormungandr endures. It is the idea that we are always surrounded, even when we don't notice. Myth or not, the image of a being so vast it embraces the whole earth is breathtaking. It represents humanity's fear of the uncontrollable, something that cannot be defeated without sacrifice. A monster that can only be slain at the cost of one's own life. Perhaps that is why the legend never disappeared. It isn't just about a serpent, it is about the destiny of us all, entangled in forces greater than our understanding. Among the most terrifying creatures, few are as real as the megalodon. A colossal shark, more than 60 feet long, capable of swallowing a car whole. Its teeth, larger than the palm of a human hand, were the sharpened weapons of the ocean's supreme predator. Fossils of teeth and vertebrae have been found worldwide, from Japan to Peru. Some so well preserved they look recent, fueling the fear, what if they still exist? The deep ocean is far too vast to dismiss the possibility entirely. The megalodon hunted whales and dolphins, ruling the food chain. No marine animal rivaled its strength. Scientists claim it went extinct millions of years ago. But in the popular imagination, it merely went into hiding. Movies and mockumentaries feed this possibility. The megalodon has become a cultural icon, embodying the idea that the past may still be alive. When the sea churns, it's easy to believe something ancient still prowls. Its name literally means giant tooth. And it's no exaggeration. A single tooth could measure 7 inches. The sight of its open jaws is enough to freeze anyone in place. Unlike other legendary monsters, the megalodon truly existed. That makes it even more frightening, because we know the oceans once held unimaginable creatures, and nothing guarantees there aren't hidden descendants. Thus, the megalodon endures as a bridge between science and legend, a reminder that the line between reality and myth is thin, and that true terror often lies rooted in the past. In Japanese folklore, there is a dreaded entity feared by fishermen, the Yumebozu. Called the sea monk, it appears when storms cease and silence reigns. Its form is immense, shadowy, faceless, like a living silhouette rising from the waters. Stories say it sinks ships with a single gesture. Some versions claim it asks sailors for a bucket. If given an ordinary one, it floods the vessel. The only way to survive is to offer it a bottomless bucket, tricking it just long enough to escape. Its size varies from story to story. Some describe it as tall as ship masts, others as massive as mountains. Its presence always comes with silent terror, more dreadful than any storm. In modern culture, it appears in anime, manga, and games, always as a harbinger of tragedy. More than a monster, it symbolizes the silence before danger, the fear of still waters hiding something unseen. For fishermen, every calm after a storm carried its memory. It wasn't superstition, but survival. The sea, after all, doesn't need waves to kill. Science denies its existence, of course. But the myth endures because it translates a real experience, the absolute fear of the unknown when the ocean itself feels alive. The Yumebozu remains a warning. The sea is not only a physical force, but also a spiritual mystery. And it is in that invisible space where monsters take root. Lesser known beyond coastal legends, the sea devourer is described as a dark, shapeless mass. No eyes, no limbs, just an enormous mouth taking up half its head. It emerges silently, swallowing entire boats. Ancient tales from Scandinavia and Canada speak of fishermen vanishing without a trace. No waves, no struggle. Just silence, as if the ocean itself had decided to keep what it had taken. Its size varies depending on the account, some say as large as a bus, others much larger, able to engulf whole fleets. Curiously, there are no accounts of it attacking out of rage. The devourer simply appears, consumes, and disappears. A predator without emotion, pure instinct. Today, it rarely surfaces in modern stories, but it still circulates in online mystery forums. Always in fragmented accounts, never in clear detail. Silence seems to be part of its essence. Scientifically, something like this is impossible to confirm. Yet the abyssal regions of the ocean remain untouched by light. And it is there that the imagination plants its darkest fears. Whether it exists or not hardly matters. The sea devourer embodies humanity's greatest fear, vanishing without explanation, swallowed by nothingness. In Canadian waters, there is the legend of Agapogo, a serpentine creature inhabiting Lake Okanagan, described as long, dark, and undulating. Its length reaches up to 50 feet, with a head resembling that of a horse. The myth originates from the Syilx people, who believed in a guardian spirit of the waters called Nhake. It demanded offerings for safe passage. Over time, the spirit became a monster, and the monster a legend. Modern sightings began in the early 20th century. In 1926, dozens of witnesses swore they saw something moving beneath the surface. Since then, shaky videos and blurry photos have kept the story alive. Ogopogo is often called the Canadian Loch Ness Monster. Its popularity even inspired a caricatured statue as a tourist attraction. But for locals, the legend remains serious. Scientific explanations suggest logs, waves, or misperceptions. But as with all legends, doubt is what keeps the myth alive. The unknown is always stronger than certainty. Today, Ogopogo appears in TV programs, documentaries, and debates. Proof that monsters don't need to be real to exist, they just need to be remembered. And so, the lake continues to guard its secrets. Perhaps we will never know what truly dwells in its waters. But as long as stories are told, Ogopogo lives on, gliding between myth and reality. In 1997, a massive sound called the bloop was recorded in the ocean, so powerful it was picked up by sensors thousands of miles apart. Science claims it was the cracking of icebergs, but to many, it sounded like the roar of a colossal creature awakening. The fact that the coordinates aligned with H.P. Lovecraft's mythical Cthulhu only deepen the mystery. To this day, the bloop fuels theories of hidden sea monsters in the depths. It is proof that even a sound can ignite global fear. Known as Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster is one of the most famous legends in the world. Described as dark-bodied, long-necked, somewhere between dinosaur and serpent, its myth dates back to the 6th century and was amplified by the famous 1933 photograph. Scientific investigations have never found solid evidence, yet fascination persists. For tourists and mystery lovers, Nessie is eternal. Long before fairy tales, mermaids were described as dark beings who lured sailors with hypnotic songs only to destroy them. Some legends spoke of women with bird-like wings and sharp talons, far from the sweet Disney image. In Nordic and Celtic cultures, they were symbols of death and fatal seduction. Even today, films and eerie reports keep their presence alive. Between charm and terror, they remain irresistible. Titanoboa was a real prehistoric snake, stretching up to 50 feet long and weighing over a ton. It lived 60 million years ago in Colombia's swamps, dominating the ecosystem after the dinosaurs' fall. Its power wasn't in its bite, but in its crushing strength, able to snap spines with ease. Discovered in 2009, it stunned both scientists and the public. Even extinct, it represents the terror of what once inhabited the Earth. A modern creation of the digital age, El Gran Maya is described as a colossal monster with sharp teeth and 6 glowing white eyes in the darkness. Said to dwell in the depths of the Arctic, mysterious sounds and shadowy footage have fueled belief in its existence. Though no scientific evidence exists, the myth spread quickly online. It is the modern embodiment of humanity's fear of the ocean unknown. From Japan comes the legend of the Ningen, a giant white humanoid said to be sighted in Antarctica by fishermen and research crews. Described as faceless, with a body up to 100 feet long, it is more nightmare than animal. Emerging in paranormal forums in the early 2000s, the legend spread across the internet. No physical evidence exists, only blurry photos and testimonies. But it is precisely this absence that makes it so disturbing. From the turbulent seas of the Kraken to the icy waters where the Ningen supposedly rests, every creature carries more than just a story. They carry the reflection of our deepest fear of the unknown. The ocean, which covers most of our planet, remains largely unexplored, hiding secrets that defy logic. Science may offer explanations, but it can never silence the echo of legends. In the human heart, these myths find refuge. And there they remain alive, generation after generation. Every account, whether from ancient sailors or modern internet forums, proves that the imagination never abandons the sea. Nessie, Megalodon, Ogopogo, the bloop all are different faces of the same question: what if something is still out there? The ocean is more than water, and salted is a mirror of our fascination with the invisible. As long as there is mystery, there will be monsters. And in the end, Perhaps the greatest monster is the certainty that we will never uncover all the secrets of the deep.